Good morning. I would like to thank you first, ISACA, to provide me the opportunity to present this particular topic. Yeah, I think it's fine. Thank you. Yeah. So, thank you, ISACA, to provide the opportunity to discuss on this topic, which is very important, which is invisible data, visible risk. That is into the AI space. So let me start, but before start I would like to ask the audience, we all use the AI, right? And what is your experience with the AI in terms of its misbehavior or saying lie to you, or we call it as a hallucination? Anyone can tell me like what's your experience or extensively using the AI within their routine day-to-day activity? Anyone can say? Please give him a mic.
What AI is churning out blindly, you should go through it in detail because there is a disclaimer given saying that whatever the results may not be true.
Can you say again, please?
Basically, whatever the AI churns out, there should be human oversight. You should go through it because in every AI which we use, there is a disclaimer given.
Correct.
Necessarily, the results may not be true.
Correct. So my next question is, how many people know about it? AI do the hallucination.
So actually we can tell the AI that don't have to hallucinate.
But do you think it will obey your rule? What you are given?
See, the whole challenge is putting the question correctly. So you need to train yourself in putting the correct query. So while there could be limitations, I think hallucination was there 3 years back. I read articles where since then there's a lot of improvement, and in fact as part of query engineering for the data, you can say please don't hallucinate when you put your query, and it will say sorry, yes, I will not hallucinate. Now, does it mean that it doesn't hallucinate? Because it obviously works on the data which is being trained on.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
really clear. The particular data on which it is trained on is most important.
Correct. So when you say you use the guardrails, that's a precise word to, you can say, stop the hallucination or doing the misbehave. The right word is a guardrail. But guardrail won't give you the guarantee that AI won't hallucinate. That is another thing, right? So I'll move it forward. So organizations know what data they collect, right? So you know what you have in front of you, but you don't know what AI is inferring in terms of how it decide based on your input, right? So you give some input and then it will search onto its database or to the model, and then it will give the output. But that output is having a lot of data which is you have not asked for. So where it comes from? And that is the inference of the AI. So now AI is everywhere. We are now using into our every ecosystem, communications. Nowadays we are getting a very long mails, if everyone has observed, right? Because it is through AI. And most of the time, even both of our speakers previous to me rightly said that you need to perfectly read whatever you are sending to the people. If you are not reading it, maybe it will make you in the trouble. So AI is everywhere, which is into the email platforms, CRM systems, HR systems, customer support, healthcare, financial services, government services, and marketing automation. Globally, everyone is having like AI is a hype. It's like people are talking. A lot of models are coming. All those things are coming. LLM is required, right? Every country need their own LLM. But what actually AI is doing in behind, that I am going to share with you today. So what is invisible data? First one is what AI infers. Second one is what AI remembers. Because memory of the AI is a very important subject. When you give any prompt to the AI, it remembers, and it's stored for the very long term, and you never know when it's used that answer to you again, right? That is another problem with the AI if you work with the DPI tech and working on to some product level. So AI is having a different hallucination level that I'll also discuss today. What AI generates and what are the hidden signals. So AI generate a metadata, behavior and location traces, right? That is what your invisible data is. AI also share you the data which you have not entered, and that is another risk which we are seeing into the AI age. So we cannot trust AI 100%, we cannot trust AI blindly, we need to use AI reasonably in terms of your context or in terms of your requirement. But what people feel is it's very easy. You give them a CV, it will give you the analysis of the candidate, but you don't know you are sharing your PII of that person and you are doing a wonderful bridge with the AI, right? So when DPDPA came, my first question to myself is when I use the AI, what is the solution where I use the AI but I don't send my PII to? And that I am going to talk about that also. So you share a little, which is a few clicks, purchase, prompt and zip code. The model connects dots, which is a cross-reference patterns across millions of records. It concludes something new, which is a health flag, life event, risk score, which is never collected, and the acts on the conclusion, which is triggering pricing decisions and before anyone reviews it. Right? So sometimes AI give you like something which you have not thought of and you feel it's out of box. So I'll give you a wonderful example. If you say AI, now people talk about this Mythos, which is one of the model, and it's a lot of things. It's a very smart model globally. If you talk about the Fable 5, which is another model which is launched by the cloud, this all the models. They says they do excellent programming and you don't require a team to do the coding and all those stuff. But AI also do the hallucination at the coding level. And I give the wonderful example, if you use the Claude Opus 4.6 and you give a command like you give us some project and say QA this particular code. So it will open 10 QA agents simultaneously. It start consuming your tokens. And then after, when you see, it will give you wonderful report where you feel happy now. This is something intelligent I have not thought of. But the beauty is it give you, few agents will give you the report without reading the code. So how you can identify that without reading the code, the QA report is correct? So my question to audience is, do you really need to replace the QA with the AI QA, or you need a human QA within the system, right? Because human QA identifies the real problem, not the AI QA. So these are the bugs you call it, or you say it's all are the issues with the in terms of the using the AI, and that is what is all invisible data, where we don't have a visibility. And it's a real risk for us. What AI can inform without being told, which is the health conditions, financial distress, political and religion views, location movement, life events, and employee performance. These are the inference levels. So when you say to AI, say example, you find out some research report and it is not giving you any context or any verifiable source, it is called the hallucination. But when we see the response in ChatGPT or any of the reasoning model, we don't have a provision to see that where is the verification is, or there is no citation is in place to verify the source. If you don't have a source, that data is incorrect. Now what we do, we are feeding the model, right? If in an organization, the people who are using, the employees, okay, who are feeding the entire model, which is 45% of enterprise employees are Gen AI tool at work, 77% of the AI uses paste data into chatbot prompts, and 40% of file uploaded to Gen AI contain PII or the payment data or the health records. Few days back, I meet one of the company, they are into the healthcare, and wonderfully they send everything to the AI, to their client. They are processing each and everything through AI. They are giving all PII, PHI to the AI. I don't know in DPDPA era what they will do and that what kind of penalty they will face in the future. But frankly speaking, the data, the way we are handling, along with AI, it's a huge risk, because you never know where AI reuse that particular data against you. Everyday tasks that expose the most PII, which is screening CVs, drafting offer letters, summarizing support chat, and reviewing contracts. Another major issue is with, I have seen few law firms also, they are reviewing the contracts with the AI. Now, when you are reviewing the contract, again you are sending a data to the PIM, right? And most of the cases, your breach is happening because you are sending all PII data. So, I'll give you the example. We do the DPDPA or any kind of implementation, but here we are not blocking the AI. Then we are still not complying for the DPDPA or any of the act globally. Another biggest you can say issue which I find in terms of risk, which is the AI memory, and it never forgets. You never know what model, what kind of memory, where they are storing, and what the time frame is, right? So it's infinite. The prompt are retained. It can train the model, and context persist. So when I say training, model training, so model training is done with the multiple perspective, how you want to train your model, or you need to concise the model. But any of the model won't work without the LLM. So I say LLM is the next internet. If we are going to use the AI with the similar way, you can't work with any of the tasks without the AI, and that is your next internet. And that's the reason this all LLMs are valuing in trillions. Another problem is synthesized data, which is the AI few purchases or the zip codes or the browsing patterns. So how identified AI based on all this data, which is your financially stressed situation or the pregnancy, it identified. This is something out of box which you cannot think of, and that is creating a risk, because whenever this PII gone, it will reuse, and I have seen the cases where how it will be reused also, right? AI hallucination is measured risk, which is a 58% to 88%. So sometimes when you get the prompt reply and there's I think till date there's no mechanism to identify the hallucination risk. So whenever you try to identify the hallucination risk, it will give you the numbers which is more than 58 to 88%. What it means, the response which you are getting, it's not correct. You cannot send it. You need to make it manually correct. So the time which you are investing to do that activity through AI, and then again you are investing a time which is worth for you, or it is worth you directly write your reply and then you give to AI to correct it. So the usage pattern is also important to reduce the hallucination risk. Verify before you trust the output. So I always say AI output is most cases hallucinated, because hallucination is done on different level. First level is your reasoning level, then second level is your coding level. It will give you the, like, if you are, I'll give you the excellent example. You tell AI to do the VAPT, right? And it will give you the list of the tool, and specifically Opus 4.6, I suggest you should try. When it will give you wonderful VAPT report, which even the, you can say, certain certified company cannot give you, right? The problem is, when that VAPT's report is generated, again in certain cases, it won't go through with the code in detail, right? So you need to do the VAPT manually. You can do, so it's a balanced activity, certain part with the AI and certain with the humans. So treat AI output as a draft, check every fact, names and numbers, keep a human in the loop, that is always required, and even if you talk to the AI, this answer is correct, he say no, it should be verified by the human. Then AI hallucination, sorry. Yeah. So there are 4 blind spots in this. First is the inference, which is the data you never collected and created at scale. Second one is the drift, the model that quietly change behavior over time. I think how many people know about it? Model is changing the behavior. Can you just throw light on that? What's your experience?
From where we started. So this happens, like I pointed out, for legal contracts, for example. The terms of contracts that actually the 2 parties signed with, and when you constantly keep churning those contracts through AI systems, you will have to go through and vet the contract deeply, because AI would have changed some parameters somewhere without being known.
Correct. Thank you for sharing. So another issue is opacity, which is a decision no one can fully explain, and the rich. One model feeding many downstream systems. So one model can feed many models. So your one PII breach exposed wherever it goes, you don't have even track of it, right? It's maybe in India, it's in Africa, or it's in the US also. So that's what the AI behavior is. And these are the 4 blind spots everyone should know. Why AI changed the privacy risk? Now I come to the privacy, which is my subject, and I love to work into the privacy because I believe that privacy is a need of our. There are a lot of crime happenings, and as an individual, our data should be protected, and that is our fundamental right. So thanks to Indian government to we can say have the opportunity to exercise our right. So when I talk about how our traditional system works, so we store the data. Now we talk about the AI system, it's learn the data. 2 different things. Predictable processing versus dynamic processing, fixed output versus adaptive output, easy audit versus complex audit. Now when you say AI governance, or as Deepak sir mentioned, maybe there will be the AI law into the India also, like AI Act into the EU. We need to have a complex audit system for the AI. And the known purpose and expanding purpose. So that's you can say another we can say privacy risk which you can identify. The risk is where data travels. Now, data is traveling to multiple places, and when we talk about the record of processing activity into the privacy, which is we talk about the traveling, the journey of the data, right? So when say where the data is traveling from the user to application to AI models and the third party and storage and analytics, retaining, and then the output. That's how the data is traveling into the ecosystem. Now there is a potential risk which is along the way, which is unauthorized sharing, data leakage, cross-border transfer. Now when we say we need to have a data within that particular country, but when we give to the model, it's not in that country. It's a cross-border transaction. Excessive retention, model memorization, and vendor dependency. Now trust. So everyone say data is a new oil, right? But I have some different opinion. I say trust is a new oil. And data is the plastic, because it is going to give you the penalty. And that's where data minimization come in place. So we need to collect the data, that is we actually need it. And that's where I say trust, which is the capability and the accountability. AI going to be more powerful day by day, but accountability is not going to be that powerful from the AI. So how we define our use for the AI, that is important. Privacy risk in AI ecosystem. So let me talk about the shadow AI, which is an employee using unapproved AI tools. So say in your organization there's a ban of using AI tool, but what if they are using in mobile and they create a letter and copy paste it and send through the email. So privacy is a cultural shift. Everybody have to understand their own privacy. If you feeling you have to keep your data protected, you act that way only. And that's where you stop sharing or stop taking a snap of the data, right? Or the photographs, or copy pasting and sending on to the email, or you can say putting onto the internet, because you understand the privacy. So privacy education and awareness is required. But shadow AI is another biggest privacy risk. Excessive collection of the data, which is collecting more than which is necessary. Wonderful part is the consent, which everyone needs to take the consent before using the data. Now when we talk about the privacy, and so we just thought in terms of only data, but we never know that in day-to-day usage, we infringe the privacy of the other people, right? So if I tell someone, okay, you come front to me and you allow me to take the photograph, he say yes, I take the photograph. But then the same photograph I put it onto the internet. Do I take the consent to do that? The answer is no. What I am doing is, I am breaching the privacy of that particular person. He may like it, he may not like it. So I should ask before to do that. And that is what consent is all about. And consent start from that level. That's the reason I say privacy is a cultural shift. It's not something, we are used to share our medical records to our families, right? We never know, by unknowingly, we are sharing our privacy to the other people. We are allowing them to know about us, right? And that is where all organizations have to learn. So the privacy starts from the individual and then reaching to the organization. Then third party risk. The data which we are sharing to the third parties, right? How is handling the data? What are their practices to handle the data? That is very important to know. Because end of the day, in terms of the DPDPA, you are a data fiduciary and you are going to be penalized for that, right? So third party risk analysis is important. Cross-border flow, I'll give you another wonderful example. We are using a lot of tools like email tools to send the multiple email like SendGrid or Resend, and these all having a data center out of India. Now, if you are using a Resend, it will take your email ID and the name of the person. So again a PII. and that is going to the cross-border, which is in US. But we are using very casually. We never thought about it. This data is going is US, and you have to declare somewhere. This is a cross-border transaction. Very simple example. Then bias and profiling. We use Swiggy, we use all of this, Zomato, all kind of a product which is having a customer interface, and we become that technically a product. In that scenario, automated decision impacting the people. So the sir rightly mentioned about his experience that I like this and I like samosa, and then it will show me that for that also, and it is infringing my decision, right? That is also the privacy breach, right? So advertising also need to be evolved in terms of the privacy. And the data leakage, which is the most important thing. You need to have a proper mechanism and measures to even input the data into the company and the getting the data out of the company. So a lot of security product implementation is required, either from the DLP or the IAM or PAM, whatever you say, but it needs to be, otherwise again you are breaching the privacy. Here you are having the tool or just having a one software which not protect you from the breach of the privacy, and that needs to be understood. So everyone is aware about the non-compliant penalty, and DPDPA is going to be enforced in May 2027 for the penalty perspective. But GDPR, we have a lot of learning, where it's 20 million, 4% of the global turnover, and EU AI Act is saying 35 million and 7% of the turnover. The real case code into a public AI were 3 separate leaks in 20 days. Source code, test sequence, and the metering transcript pasted into the public chatbot. So somebody is posting a source code, how you restrict? Do you have a policy in place? Do you have a mechanism? You have to think on that, right? Fines are real and already issued. So if somebody is taking it, like DPDPA is not going to enforce, or there is no penalty kind of a stuff, fines are going to be there, and we have a very good case studies where GDPR reached to 1.2 billion case, which is a single fine, right? And 30.5 million, which is into the you can say Netherlands, where we can say penalized for the facial recognition of the data and building a biometric database without lawful basis, right? What are the regulatory expectations? Transparency, accountability, purpose limitation, data minimization, security safeguards, user right, and the governance. These are the regulatory expectations, and even in terms of the AI also, it is going to be there, because why I am saying, if you have heard the speech of our Honorable Minister into the AI Impact Summit, when he talked about the Manav concept, he said one sentence, Jiska data uska adhikar, right? And that is from his mouth, so you understand how privacy is going to be strengthened in India. AI governance framework, which is a governance, privacy, security, risk management, and the transparency. These are not just the word, but it has to be implemented and it has to be acted with the controls. We talk a lot of time privacy by design, and even we get few RFPs also, we find that we need to have a new product which is a privacy by design. So what is the privacy by design? What data is going to be used? Where data is going to be stored? Each personal data is necessary? How long data is going to be retained? Can data be anonymized? Can user exercise their right? And who has the access? These are the points which help you to do the privacy by design. and we call it as a who has access, which is a role-based access control, and which is required in every organization. Even then, you can implement the PAM solution, which is a privilege access management. So it will give you allow you for the particular time being access. AI vendor due diligence. Now, you can see AI framework is there, AI governance is going to come, then how you do the due diligence of the vendor. So is the data used for the model training? Where the data is stored? What are the retention periods? Is encryption implemented? Is customer data segregated? Are sub-processor disclosed? Is audit evidence available? And what compliance certification exists? The problem is with any of the certification is people are thinking is it's a checkbox. But this AI and the new regime which is coming globally for the data privacy, this is going to change everything, because these all laws are operational laws. This is not something you are doing today and tomorrow you say I have this certificate and I am protected. No. You are on your toes to prove yourself that you are maintaining trust for your customer, vendors and employees. And that is what privacy is all about. So we have, working through this, all those stuff, we identified the sign model, which is see what it infers, interrogate why, govern the output, and narrate to the humans. You can implement this model from today itself. And this will help you a lot to create a governance within the organization. 5 questions every board should ask to their teams, their IT teams, their compliance teams, their privacy teams. Do we know which AI tools are in use, including approved one? Can we explain what our AI system infer about the people? Is personal data third-party AI vendors, where does it go? Or can we produce audit evidence on demand? So, if you have a system where you talk to the model and it will have the recording of that, that is the evidence system which you are building it. So what question you have asked, what model answer you, and you have a record of that, right? So you are creating a governing system for it. So this is the action plan which I can give you for the 30 days, 60 days and 90 days and ongoing, which is identify AI tools to use, build as an AI inventory, run privacy assessment, review AI vendors, stand up an AI governance owner, implemented core controls, monitor, audit and improve. This is what you can do for the AI governance perspective. And the last, which is you can't govern what you can't see. And that is where my subject was about the invisible data. So today I have a lot of journey with the privacy and in AI, and I have almost used all model available into the industry, which most people are using it. So from this platform, today I am launching my one of the AI governance product, which is name is a Clarion AI, which is a pure Make in India product, and which will help you to protect your PII send into any of the AI model, right? So you will have the details with you shortly, and this things it is covering, which is a major hallucination, ask multiple models, and the model comparison also. So for the one question you will have multiple answers for the same question from the different model, and it will block the PII. So you don't have to worry if you use that trust layer. So we call it as a trust layer. So it will automatically identified whether it's a PII, PFI, PHI, or and it's not just for India. It's for all global laws. It will comply for GDPR, POPIA, then PDPL, everything. So we have launched the site today, and we are going to launch our product within next 2 to 3 days, which you can go and try it out. So it's a free version available, right? Thank you, ISACA, to give me this opportunity. If anyone is having a question, I am open for it.